Go ahead and say them.
Okay.
What's most memorable about the class of '57 in your mind, Mayor?
Well, in addition to Robert Carter, you know, '57 was a great year for Chevys, but the class of '57 undoubtedly is a class that has made many contributions to the world. We know that people like Robert have made great contributions to Provo and will continue to do that. But we want to welcome anyone who's come back to be a part of this great gathering, and I hope you'll come back and visit Provo often. And please feel free to leave your dollars and your other good thoughts with us.
You know, of course, Mayor, that this was the site of Provo High School. We are in your office in probably the playground between the central and the main school. Lots of sterling activities took place here. Softball games in which we knocked out a few windows. Touch football games were out in the road. And David Thane and I were in the first graduating class from the new school. So we spent 2 years here, and they were fun years. And the police department is almost where the central office used to be. So that's kind of appropriate, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I think so. And you know, the fact that the playground was here where the mayor's office is, that's appropriate too. It still is kind of a playground, and we just invite anybody that wants to come up and play to come and enjoy themselves. It's a great place to be. You know, as we just put a new elevator in the fire station building, we actually went through the floor of the old pool, and we have some of the tiles that came off the pool.
Oh, yeah.
And so
Some racy stories
Provo High, you know, you can tear it down, but it lives on, and it will live on forever, not only in our hearts, but in reality. So,
By the way, this is the Honorable Mayor Lewis Billings from Provo.
the greatest fan of the class of '57.
We're standing in the mayor's office of the Provo Municipal Building, and on the wall to my left is a painting that was done by Samuel H. Jefferson, who was a pioneer of about 57. He came in the 50s in a handcart company. He was probably 58. He was a youngster at the time, but he grew up on this very block where the municipal building stands today. He had art and music in his soul. Unfortunately, his father did not agree with his choice of occupation and dragged his feet, but Sam prevailed. Fortunately for us, this is a painting that he painted of Provo in the 1860s. Sam was here in the 1860s. He knew what it looked like. He spent probably his boyhood days roaming the streets like we did in '57. In the this is the mud wall that was built around the city down 7th West in the 1850s because of the Walker War. This is Center Street, much changed today. The large pole here is the Liberty Pole where they flew the Stars and Stripes over Pioneer Park, which is this large open area. This is the old tithing house. Back in the distance. Now this is about where David Early Tire is on 5th West and Center Street. It's the Bullock Hotel and the Stewart Store, the first commercial business in Provo. In the background you can see the first tabernacle that was finished in the 60s. And then of course the mountain, Mother Luna, if you know who Mother Luna is. This is her forehead, her nose. This is Slate Canyon, her chin, her mouth. Over here we have on 5th West the seminary building, which was built as the home of George A. Smith, but he said it was much too grand, much too large for him. He opted to build a smaller house down here on the corner. It's a historic area of Provo. This is Little Dry Creek running down through here, and from here to the lake was open fields with scattered habitations. But this, thanks to Sam, we have an idea of what the Provo looked like in the 1860s, and he's left us, by the way, he painted about 2,000 paintings, and his best ones were done in the 1930s, just before his death. He was helping spray apples. The horse hit a ditch. The wagon lurched. He fell off, broke his neck, and of course that was the end of Sam. But great painter, in my estimation, from Pioneer times, Sam Jefferson. Is it red? If it's red, it comes on. We're in the hallway next to the mayor's office in the Provo City Municipal Building, and along the wall here we see a lot of historic photographs, and of course this is open to the public. Classmates are welcome to come up here and look and see what Provo looked like in the well, through the years of his existence from 1849 to the present. One particular one I think you'll enjoy is a picture of Center Street in Provo in the 1860s and 70s. It's about 73, I would say. Many of you may remember the mill race that ran down 2nd West. It's, of course, covered now. Many of you will remember Taylor Brothers Department Store. It started out here in these buildings as George Taylor's Furniture. He sold Dinwoody's furniture for a while, and then he began to have the local artisans build furniture for him, and he would sell it out of his store. And at first he delivered it on his back because he didn't have a wagon or draft animals. Another building that might be of interest to you is the old Academy building, where the Farmers and Merchants Bank of days that you remember is located on 3rd West and Center. This is 2nd West. Startups Candy originally was in, I think, this building, and most of these buildings are, well, they're all gone now, and we have the current row. This is the building where Taylor Brothers building is. This is the block where Taylor Brothers building is located. So it's kind of fun. There are different pictures around that I think you'd enjoy seeing when you're here. And remember that the mayor says you should eat here. There are only probably 24 restaurants now on Center Street that were not here during our day, and I think you'd enjoy many of the ethnic restaurants. So come on downtown and drop a few bucks here. The historic pictures extend down both hallways next to the mayor's office, and you're welcome to come up and spend some time in either hallway. It's on the 2nd floor of the municipal building. You walk in the door on Center Street, go upstairs, go east, go upstairs, and you're in the hallway where these pictures are. And it's fun to reminisce and look and see what the town looked like. This is where the New Skin building is located today. It was a huge park by the old tabernacle, which is by the new tabernacle, which is actually quite an old tabernacle. That's the current tabernacle that's still there, is called the new tabernacle. Across the street there was a 3-story building. Heinz Saloon and Drugstore was located on this corner. Mike Bernston, until recently, had a drugstore on that corner. A couple of years ago he sold that to New Skin, and they use it as part of their corporate building now. This is where Crest used to be, and the Southworth building has been restored, and there's a reception center there, a nice feature for downtown Provo. And of course the Marriott Hotel is in this area now. But it's fun to come down, look at these pictures, browse around, see what you can see that you like.